everyone! Today I'm going to take you inside Jackson's art shop. So, it's based in North London, and I suppose if you're a tourist you probably wouldn't end up in that area. It's not kind of like a touristy area, it's quite far from central London. So I thought I'll share that experience with you and show you inside. I have asked Jackson's beforehand, of course, if I can film, and they said yes, so I'm very excited to be able to do that for you and share it with you. So obviously I was quite curious myself. I have shopped on Jackson's online shop for many years, and before the pandemic hit I actually was going to go and visit them and see what it's like inside, but things got busy afterwards as well when the pandemic finished. So finally I made it, and it is such a different experience of being in a physical shop versus shopping online. You can see all the products arranged in the colors that are available, and you get such a good idea of the colors that you need. And I have to say, in the end, I was quite rushed. I did a bit of shopping, so there's going to be a separate video where I'm going to share what I bought. But yeah, I was rushing a little bit because of parking restrictions. In hindsight, however, I, kind of when editing this video thought, oh, I actually should have gotten a few more things. But anyway, so the shop is divided into two parts. This part, when you enter, has mostly acrylic paints, spray paints, alcohol inks, and all that kind of thing. Although they do have Dr. P.H. Martin's Radiant, and I think the Hydrus ranges as well in this acrylic paint section. Panko clips. Now, they are of a sentimental value for me because I got them first when I started the channel, so very long time ago. This is a nice display of all these beautiful, luxurious brass products. There were a couple that were completely new to me. So for instance, this pencil case is made out of brass and it looks quite nice. I wonder how heavy it is. And this beautiful tool that I have been given as a gift one year, and I really enjoyed creating circles with it. And some other beautiful gift ideas. The whole cabinet is fantastic for gift ideas when it's sort of, that time of the year. Golden has pretty much the entire wall of their products in there, so starting with the tubes, then going into jars. Also, sketchbooks are across the shop, so they're not just in one area, but they're fitting with the products. And these are acrylic gouache paints. Actually, there's a color there that I really liked. I didn't end up getting it. I forgot about it. I put it back and I was going to get it later. I was holding a very heavy camera and in actual fact I can feel it today in my shoulder, so I couldn't shop as I was filming. But yeah, this color looked really beautiful. It kind of had that chartreuse look to it. This section here is the alcohol inks by Jackson's. I like the fact that Jackson's has so many different products now under their own brand, and it was good to see them in live. Here we have some of the FW acrylic inks and paper. This paper looked interesting. It's the environment friendly, eco friendly paper. It's a little bit thin. I think it's 120 GSM, but it felt good enough for like, you know, drawing and maybe minimal water. I haven't tried it. I might give it a go because there were loads and loads of sheets inside that paper pad, which is always great. So, and Fabriano tends to be a fantastic paper. I tried it once on a holiday, went then to art shop, and it was Fabriano paper, kind of thin, but it would sort of buckle when using watercolor and then dry to complete flatness. So it was fantastic. I wonder if this paper does the same. So if I try it one day, I will let you know. And here we've got some of the Jackson's acrylic paints, which again, looking at it now, I wish I got a couple of colors to try, because I don't think I have tried their paints yet. And the System 3 that you just saw underneath, this is the paint here in UK that we were using when doing our art at the college. So that's the paint that was supplied to us. I don't know how things are these days, because keep in mind this was 20 years ago. Back to golden. This is the golden liquid acrylic, and it just it's beautiful to see all the bottles right there displayed in a beautiful color arrangement. It's such an eye candy. I find it so satisfying to just look at that and quickly find the colors that appeal to me. Then there are more of the sketchbooks. Again, I really like the fact that Jackson's have their own sketchbooks and their own, this is Strathmore, but next to it there is loads of different papers that you can get from Jackson's, from canvas to watercolor, acrylic, mixed media, thick, thin, rough, whichever paper you like to work with. This is such a beautiful display of brushes, and it's actually the largest brush display I have ever seen in an art shop. So there's a couple of art shops I have been here in UK, but never anything to this extent. Liquitex acrylic paints. I may or may not have gotten a few, so stay tuned for that video of me shopping in there. I didn't film actually, picking the items, because then after I put the camera down I just wanted to have some me time and focus on things, but I will show you sort of the unboxing, so to speak, or unbagging. Here we have some boards. These are paint boards, and they're quite on trend. A lot of artists feature them quite often lately. You can finish them to be hung on the wall and kind of make them look a little bit more professional. That corner there that I just showed you, that was the paper. I thought it's interesting to see, because probably that's where our papers come. If you ever ordered a large sheet of paper, that's probably where they get it already and cut, I suppose. And here, that wall that you just saw, that's all watercolor tubes and some pans as well, but mostly tubes. And oh my god, this was a complete satisfaction. 10 out of 10. If not 15. So we had some Schminke, some Daniel Smith. What else was there? Oh, interestingly, I didn't spot Core or M. Graham. So the availability online is definitely bigger than in the shop, I felt. Certainly when it comes to watercolors. Interestingly, Moon Glow and Shadow Violet both sold out. So they seem to be quite sort of favorite amongst the artists. Yeah, so then we had also Winsor and Newton, and there was some Cotman as well, Winsor and Newton next to it, and I'm trying to think what else. That's it, I think that's it. There will be some lovely gouache right next to it as well, and I absolutely loved it. I got a couple of colors, actually a few, of the Winsor & Newton colors. I don't have that many Winsor & Newton paints, but I did get a few tubes there just because I love the analogous color palette. I think I got 3 or 4 colors that were right next to each other, so that will be interesting to swatch out. Here, of course, we've got the Winsor & Newton gouache, and oh my goodness, that looks so good. But I have to say, next time I'm going to an art shop, I will bring some sort of a swatch book where I can actually double check that I don't have the color, because I ended up not buying quite a few things because I thought I may already have it. So yeah, that's a thing to think about. Definitely pencils and things, just, you know, next time I'm bringing it with me. Some more boards here. These are a bit thinner, and these are also a slightly different type of boards, but you can see sizing, different sizes, and loads of them. So once we entered into that second part of the shop, this is where the watercolors are and the markers and things, so I'm just moving my way around it. These are obviously the alcohol markers by Copic. Again, beautiful way of displaying them and seeing colors that you need to see right there and then. And also Tombow. I got a little leaflet there which has all the colors in there, and again, same thing. I was going to get a few colors because there's some really beautiful colors that I don't have, but I wasn't sure if some of them I may indeed have. So yeah, I didn't want to double purchase anything. And you can see how gorgeous everything looks. This section here, the teals with the blues, I think they're something I would like to look into. Then we have Poscas, and they were also very beautifully displayed in this Posca cabinet with all the different sizes. Now I was straight going into the metallic section there, because the PM3, if I'm not mistaken, that's the one that I love using in the bronze color. The nib is really reliable. You can get thinner and thicker marks with it, and it just flows beautifully compared to some of the other Posca, like PM1 I think is a bit problematic. I didn't have the same issues with the PM3, so I went for the gold. I really wanted to try the gold because I love their color, but just the nib sizes can be a little bit tricky sometimes. Just there you saw some lovely fine liners, and finally we're going into the back wall of the shop of that area, and that's where all the chalks are. The chalk section is amazing. I'm not really into chalks, but I thought I'll show it to you just in case some of you are into it. Again, Jackson's own branded chalks are beautiful. Also opposite the chalks there are pencils, but the lighting wasn't great, so I didn't shoot that area. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this little vlog, and see you soon.